Have you ever noticed how just when you're about to reach that massive breakthrough in your life, everything seems to go haywire? I mean everything. It's like the enemy knows exactly when to strike, right? Let me tell you, if you're facing intense battles right now, you might just be closer to your breakthrough than you think. You see, I've walked this journey, and God has shown me some powerful truths that I just have to share with you today. You know what's fascinating? In the Bible, we see this pattern over and over again. Just look at Joseph. Right before he became second in command in Egypt, he was sitting in prison. David, before he became king, he was running for his life. And don't even get me started on Jesus. Before his resurrection, he faced the cross. Today, I want to break down 4 major battles you'll face when you're on the verge of something amazing. And trust me, knowing these battles will help you stand firm when they come your way. The first battle is what I call the identity attack. This is when doubt starts creeping in like never before. You'll hear thoughts like, "Who do you think you are?" or "You're not qualified enough." The enemy knows that if he can shake your identity in Christ, he can shake everything else. Remember how Jesus was tempted in the wilderness? The devil started with, "If you are the Son of God." It's always about identity first. Let me tell you something powerful. Your identity isn't in what you do, what you have, or what others say about you. Your identity is firmly rooted in who God says you are. You are chosen, royal priesthood, holy nation, God's special possession. That's who you are, period. The second battle is the isolation battle. Have you noticed how right before a breakthrough it feels like everyone disappears? Your support system seems to vanish. People misunderstand you and you feel so alone. But here's the thing. Sometimes God allows isolation because he wants to be your only source. Think about Jacob. He wrestled with God alone, and that's where his blessing came. I remember going through this myself. There was a time when I felt so alone in my journey that it hurt. But that lonely season became my greatest blessing because I learned to depend solely on God. When everyone else steps back, God steps in closer. The third battle is what I call the intensified opposition. This is when problems don't just come, they pour. Your car breaks down, your health acts up, your finances get hit. It's like everything that can go wrong does go wrong. But here's the wisdom in this. The enemy doesn't waste time fighting something that isn't a threat. If you're facing increased opposition, it's often a sign that you're carrying something powerful that the enemy doesn't want released. Look at Nehemiah building the wall. The more progress they made, the more opposition they faced, but they kept building with one hand and holding their sword in the other. That's your strategy right there. Keep moving forward, but stay armed with prayer and the word. The fourth and final battle is the internal warfare. This is probably the toughest one because it's all about what's happening inside you. It's when old fears resurface, past insecurities come knocking, and you start questioning everything. The promised land is in sight, but suddenly, like the Israelites, you start thinking about Egypt. But listen to me carefully. This internal battle is actually a setup for your greatest victory. God often allows internal struggles because he's doing a deep work in you. He's not just interested in getting you to your breakthrough. He's interested in who you become in the process. You see, these battles aren't meant to break you. They're meant to make you. They're not obstacles to your breakthrough, they're actually part of your breakthrough. Every giant you face is preparing you for the territory God is about to give you. So let me encourage you today. If you're facing any of these battles, don't back down. Don't give up. You're not losing. You're actually winning. These battles are proof that something big is about to break in your favor. Remember David's words in Psalm 35. "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." Your morning is coming. And I want you to really grab hold of this truth today. Your current battles aren't your final destination. They're simply markers on your path to victory. You know what's beautiful about this journey? God never wastes our pain. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of uncertainty, he's collecting them all. They're becoming part of your testimony. Think about it. The very things that the enemy meant to destroy you are becoming the stepping stones God uses to display his glory in your life. I remember a season in my life when everything seemed to be falling apart. My dreams felt like they were slipping through my fingers like sand. Have you ever been there? Where you're doing everything right, following God's leading, yet it feels like you're moving backward instead of forward. That's exactly where I was. But here's what God taught me in that season. Sometimes what looks like a setback is actually a setup for something greater. Just like Joseph in the pit and in prison, what looked like rejection was actually divine direction. Every no he faced was leading him to God's bigger yes. Let me share something powerful with you. In the Bible, before every major breakthrough, there was usually a period of intense testing. Moses had his wilderness. David had his caves. Daniel had his lion's den. Jesus had his Gethsemane. These weren't punishments, they were preparations. You see, God is more interested in your character than your comfort. He's not just preparing a blessing for you, He's preparing you for the blessing. Think about it. If God gave you everything you're believing for right now, would you be ready to handle it? Would you have the character, the wisdom, the maturity to steward it well? That's why these battles are actually gifts in disguise. They're building something in you that will be essential for where God is taking you. Every time you choose faith over fear, every time you praise in the middle of your pain, every time you keep going when everything in you wants to quit, you're developing spiritual muscles that you'll need for your next level. I want to talk to someone right now who's been feeling discouraged. Maybe you've been praying, fasting, believing God, but it seems like nothing's changing. In fact, things might even be getting harder. Can I tell you something? You're not losing ground. You're gaining territory in the spirit realm. Remember what happened just before the walls of Jericho fell? The Israelites had to walk around those walls in complete silence for 6 days. Imagine how they felt on day 4, day 5, day 6, still walking, still seeing those same intimidating walls, still no visible change. But on day 7, those walls came crashing down. Your breakthrough might be just one more lap around those walls, one more prayer, one more act of obedience, one more step of faith. Don't stop now. The enemy would love nothing more than for you to give up right before your miracle. You know what's interesting about breakthrough moments in the Bible? They often came suddenly. The 3 Hebrew boys were in the fire one moment and dining with the king the next. Daniel was in the lion's den one night and promoted to prime minister the next morning. Peter was in prison 1 hour and walking free the next. Your situation can change in an instant. One word from God can change everything. One divine connection, one open door, one answered prayer. That's all it takes. But here's the key. You've got to stay in position, stay in faith, stay in worship, stay in the Word. I feel led to speak to someone who's been battling in their mind. The enemy has been working overtime to fill your thoughts with doubt, fear, and uncertainty. But I want to remind you of 2 Corinthians 10:5. We take captive every thought and make it obedient to Christ. Your mind is a battlefield, but you have authority in Christ to control what thoughts you entertain. Start speaking life over your situation. Start declaring God's promises over your circumstances. There's power in your praise, power in your declarations, power in your worship. When Paul and Silas praised in prison, their chains fell off and the doors flew open. Your praise has the same power. You're not just waiting for your breakthrough, you're working towards it. Every time you choose joy over bitterness, every time you choose forgiveness over resentment, every time you choose faith over fear, you're positioning yourself for breakthrough. Let me tell you something powerful. The size of your battle often indicates the size of your blessing. The enemy doesn't fight against small things. If you're facing intense opposition, it's because there's something significant about to break forth in your life. So I want to encourage you today. Don't give up. Don't back down. Don't lose heart. These battles you're facing, they're not meant to destroy you, they're designed to develop you. Every giant in your path is preparing you for greater territory. Every test is setting you up for a greater testimony. Your breakthrough is not just about you. Someone else's deliverance is connected to your victory. Someone else's faith will be strengthened by your testimony. That's why the enemy fights so hard. He knows that your breakthrough isn't just about you. It's about everyone who will be impacted by your story. Stand firm in your faith. Keep your eyes fixed on Jesus. Remember, the same God who brought you to it will bring you through it. Your morning is coming, and when it does, all the pain of the night will fade in the light of God's faithfulness. You are stronger than you know, more blessed than you realize, and closer to your breakthrough than you can imagine. Keep pressing on, keep believing, keep declaring God's promises. Your season of weeping is about to turn into a season of reaping. Your mourning is about to turn into dancing. Your breakthrough is on the way. Let me pray with you. Father, I thank you for every person hearing this message right now. I pray that you would strengthen them in these battles. Help them see that these challenges aren't signs of defeat, but signals of an approaching breakthrough. Give them supernatural strength to stand firm, wisdom to navigate these seasons, and faith to believe that their breakthrough